All right, so let's see. All right, so we live now. Let's see. I can't see it. Okay, yeah, we ready now. We good to go now.
All right. All right, Shalom. We want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash. Yeah, double honors to the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the men whom we believe through faith, to be the true teachers and leaders of the nation of Israel. Also want to give honors to you brothers out there that's laboring in his work, sincerely pushing out this gospel in all true faith and sincerity. And a hearty shalom to you believers out there, the Akim as well as the Aqua, which will be you brothers along with the sisters that subscribe to this truth as well. So yeah, this the brother Aram, and with me,
the brother Barack.
Yeah, and we hail from the church, Birmingham, Alabama, the branch of Great Millstone. And this topic of this lesson right here is going to be centered around these different doctrines out there that resist the spirit of the power of Yahweh Shah. Whatever form of doctrine it might be, whether it's in the form of the Moors or you claim to be Islamic, these different denominations amongst Christianity, the Baptist Church, the Seventh-day Adventists, Jehovah Witness, the Methodist Church, whatever idea, even down to just some grinding nigger that don't want to hear it. Well, that all can be summed up into one doctrine, and that's the doctrine of the serpent, man. And that's pursuant to the book of Genesis, the 3rd chapter, which this live stream is going to be centered around. Which, by the way, you have a lot of those amongst the unlearned who would perceive the book of Genesis to be just an open and shut case. Because what they do, they subconsciously bring in that idea of the world. In the world, with the so-called white man and his curriculum, usually these different forms of studies, whether it's your English book, your math book, your history book, usually the first chapter is always the easiest chapter. You know what I mean? That's usually the easiest chapter. So what happened with these knuckleheads? They perceive the book of Genesis to just be the easiest chapter in the Bible. Unbeknown to you, that's one of the most intricate books in the Bible, man. Along with the book of Revelation, those are two of the most in-depth books in the scriptures, And in the book of Genesis, there's found prophecies, For an example, we living out one of the prophecies in the book of Genesis, the fact that the fatness of the earth was given over to you devils, the so-called white man. That was prophesied in the book of Genesis. See? And as it pertains to this sitting right here, we're going to go into this doctrine, this rebellious form of resisting the spirit of our Lord Yahweh Shah. When this doctrine is on display. When any of you out there who come up against it or resist it, that means you hold fast to the doctrine of the serpent. Okay? And that's found in the book of Genesis, the 3rd chapter, again, which this sitting is going to be centered around. So you got any opening statements you want to make? If not, we'll just go ahead and go into it.
Yeah, Khan, this is Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
Now, that serpent right there, that's a metaphor, man. Okay, what we're reading right here is a parable, and that serpent is symbolic to the so-called white man. And the beast would be the other nations. And the field would be the world. Matter of fact, could you get that real quick? Let's prove that the field is the world.
Matthew 13.
Yep, I think around the 38th verse.
Yeah, this is the book of Matthew. So like, The book of Matthew, chapter 13, and verse 38, it says, the field is the world.
See, the field is the world. So go back to Genesis, the 3rd chapter.
Yeah, so this Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord
see? So the so-called white man was more subtle, more shrewd than any of the other nations of the field. And guess what? This actually is concerning right now. You know, this is a multifold scripture which have an element of prophecy to it. And the reason why this devil is more shrewd than all the other nations is because he's in power right now. You know? And the Lord gave him that strength, you know, to rule. You see, but he was in wickedness on the left-hand side. All right. Go ahead.
And I say something too, dealing with that serpent. Those are different characteristics. The animal compared like Israel was known as scorpions. Yeah, I mean that was a characteristic. And he also called Herod a fox, man. You know what I mean? So those are different characteristics. And just like a snitch, you would call him a rat, man. You know what I mean? So Esau, he is that serpent, man. You know? So this is back in Genesis 3:1.
You were breaking up on my end. Check and see, check the comment board and see if we good. Is we good?
Yeah, just put a 1 if y'all can hear on both sides. You know what I mean? If y'all can hear on both sides, just put a 1 on the comment board, Bob Kashaf.
You breaking up on my end,
Okay, let's see. I don't even think they can hear me. Let me see. Okay, yeah, so they can hear me then. They can hear me. You can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I probably got to speak up a little bit then. That's probably what it is.
Okay.
All right, so this back in Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord power had made. And he said unto the woman, yeah, have the Most High said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden.
Right, and that actually happened, but that's pretty much a metaphor for the time we're in now. And that woman can be compared to Israel, you know? Matter of fact, if you ain't got nothing, give me Jeremiah 6:2.
Yeah, this is Jeremiah chapter 6. It's like this Jeremiah 6:2. It says, I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman.
See, so Israel is compared to a woman, man. You know? So when you go into matter of fact, I go to Revelation the 12th chapter as well. Real quick.
Yep.
That proves you that that's an ongoing story right there.
Exactly.
It's actually happening right now.
Yeah.
The serpent, the so-called white man and his ideology and his philosophy is finessing you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You know, in a roundabout way, he's in your ear telling you not to listen to the prophets, man, not to listen to this doctrine. You know?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah, this is Revelations chapter 12:1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. It's like you. Let me read that again. Revelation 12:1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 7 stars, a crown of 12 stars. Like it.
Right, and that's dealing with Israel. You know, that woman is somebody to Israel. Go ahead.
It says, and she being with child cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads.
And that's the same serpent in the Old Testament, what we read in the book of Genesis. The word dragon and serpent is interchanged. Now, matter of fact, if you read down, it'll tell you that. I think it's the 9th verse or somewhere say that old serpent of old.
Yep, is it? Yep, This is Revelations chapter 12 and 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent.
Yeah, that old serpent from where? The Old Testament. What we reading right now.
That's it.
See, that old serpent, go ahead.
That old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels was cast out with him.
Now the scriptures say who deceived the whole world. That's why when you read in Genesis, it say he was more shrewd than all the beasts of the field, all the beasts in the world. So he was running circles around everybody because he was shrewd. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
So now, unless you had a point, let's go back to Genesis.
Yeah, back in Genesis chapter 3 and verse 2, it says, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the trees which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High have said, the Most High have said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
Lest ye die. See? And that's our doctrine.
Yep.
We tell you that you're gonna die, man. All right, when you go back to the time of Noah's doctrine was you're gonna die.
That's it.
Right?
Yep.
Go ahead, Ak.
And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die.
See that? So when you come up against this doctrine, in essence, you saying, I'm not going to die. Matter of fact, if you ain't gotten there, give me that. I think that's Ezekiel, the 33rd chapter. They should surely die. And I think it's in Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter as well. When I tell a man that he should surely die.
Let's see. Bear with me. Let me see. 33.
I forget exactly where it's at.
Oh, yeah. This is it. This is Ezekiel 33. And I start at verse 7. It says, so thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me.
Right. So that's what we do. We are actually watchmen, you know, and we pushing this doctrine. We conveying the words of Yahweh to the children of Israel. And really the overtone of this doctrine is to warn you that if you don't return to your power, there's going to be a penalty. See? Go ahead, Ak.
When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die.
Whoa, see? So that's the doctrine, right? The doctrine is you're going to surely die. So if you don't agree with this doctrine, then that means you saying you're not going to die.
Yep.
Which goes back to what? The serpent. The serpent says you should surely not die. See? So go ahead, Ak.
It says, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die if thou doest not speak to warn the wicked from his way. That wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood would I require at thine hand.
Right. So the overtone of this message is you're going to die. So if you will, go back to Genesis, the 3rd chapter again, and let's see what Satan said.
This is Genesis chapter 3 and 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die.
See, ye shall not surely die. So when you come up against this doctrine, that's what you're saying. You're saying that you're not going to die because we're telling you you're going to die unless you return to your power. So in essence, you are holding fast to the doctrine of the serpent, which is the doctrine of Esau, man. You know, and pretty much what the serpent have done, he has finessed you. You got some up?
Yeah, I got a precept.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this Proverbs 7 and 25. It says, let not thine heart decline to her ways. It says, go not astray in her paths, for she have cast down many wounded. Yeah, many strong men have been slain by her. Her house
been slain by her.
Yep.
Dealing with this doctrine, which leads not this doctrine that we teaching, but the doctrine of America, man. The doctrine of the serpent. It has slain many. You know. Go ahead.
It says, her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death.
Yeah, and that's where you go when you deviate, when you turn away from this doctrine. Matter of fact, give me that in Proverbs 1, where it said the turning away of the simple. I think it's Proverbs 1.
Oh, yeah, I got it. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is
When you resist this doctrine, when you turn your back, when you resist and you reject this doctrine, then there's a penalty for that. You're gonna die. You
Yep.
know? Go ahead, out.
Yeah, this Proverbs 1:32. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them.
Right. So the turning away of the simple shall slay them, man. You know?
Yep.
So with that, I go to 2 Corinthians, Baba Kushad, the 11th chapter, and start at the top, the point around the 3rd verse.
Yep, kind. Yeah, this is 2 Corinthians chapter 11 and 1. So like, yeah, 2 Corinthians 11 and 1. It says, would to the Most High you could bear with me a little in my folly, indeed bear with me. For
Hey, you breaking up on my end.
Damn. See.
Yeah, I can hear you a little now. I don't know what it was. You breaking up real bad.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, Con. This is 2 Corinthians 11 and 1. It says, would to the Most High you could bear with me a little in my folly, and indeed bear with me.
Mm-hmm.
For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy, for I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Hamashiach. But I fear lest.
Yep, and that proves right there that woman is symbolic to Israel, man.
That's it. Yep.
Go ahead, out.
It says, but I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety.
As the serpent beguiled Eve, man.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? And how did he beguile her? He finessed her with a certain doctrine, man.
Yep.
And that applies to this very day. Our people have been beguiled. Matter of fact, if you could look up that word beguile, let's see what it says.
Yeah, Kai.
Because the main stumbling block, and hurdle for our people coming into this truth is the doctrine of Esau, the philosophies and the ideas of this world, man.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's in the form of you chasing the American dream, you're an aspiring basketball player, or you want to get in the entertainment world, whatever the case might be, it's a snare that's set up by Esau. That's the doctrine of the serpent right there, man. And that's a form of the serpent beguiling you. Yep. So go ahead, up.
Yeah, this Strong's G 1818 is patao, and it says to deceive. It says to seduce wholly, beguile, deceive.
I can't hear you out.
It says
you up again.
It says to deceive, to seduce wholly.
Yeah, to seduce, man.
Yep.
Okay. And that's what America is all about. That's why America, Babylon the Great, is known as that whore.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. The whore is seducing you. See? Go ahead.
Con, that was pretty much it on that.
Okay, Con. So let's go back to the 2 Corinthians 11:3 again.
Con, this back in 2 Corinthians 11:3. But I feared lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety.
Woo, through his subtlety, man.
Come on.
Because why? What he pushed is a form of finessing you. Jake is a very docile people. Oh, that's why Israel is known as lost sheep, man. A sheep is docile,
Mm-hmm.
So that's what has taken place, man. This shrewd serpent has seduced and finessed you Israelites into believing what he pushing is the way to go, And once this doctrine is presented to you, you resist it. And in a roundabout way, you saying you should not surely die.
Yep.
Because we telling you you're gonna die, man. And that's the same thing what happened with we always had to allude back to Noah.
Is it?
What the hell you think they was telling Noah? They was telling Noah that it wasn't gonna rain. They was telling Noah that it wasn't gonna be a great flood. They was telling Noah that judgment wasn't gonna lay hold on the known earth at that time, man.
Yep.
Yep. So go ahead, up.
It says, but I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Hamashiach.
Right, and see, that's where it all starts with your mind, man.
Mm-hmm.
Your mind, your mind has been corrupted, man.
Yep.
You know. Matter of fact, give me 2 Thessalonians, the 8th chapter.
I got a quick precept too.
Go ahead, get what you got, and then we go back.
Yeah, this is Psalms chapter 10 and 7. It says, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud.
Woo, that's dealing with Esau, man.
Yep.
This current system, it promotes deceit and fraud. And anybody that subscribes to it, that means that you hold fast to the serpent's doctrine.
Yep.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And really, it ain't no in between. It's either the serpent doctrine or Yahweh Shema Shah. Again, when you go back into the time of Adam and Eve, it was either they was going to listen to the serpent, which was coming up against what Yahweh Shema Shah commanded them.
Okay.
So in essence, I don't care if you say you're a damn Muslim, you know, that's the serpent's doctrine, man.
Yep, that's it.
Yep. Go ahead.
It says, under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much it on that.
Yeah, Khan. So give me 2 Thessalonians 2 and start at 8.
Khan. Yep, this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 8. It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
Who is that wicked? That's that same old serpent, like we just read in Revelation, the 12th chapter. That old serpent of old. Yep. Snake in the grass.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, go ahead.
It says, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Mm-hmm.
Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders.
See, and lying wonders, man.
Yep.
That's that forked tongue, man.
That's it.
That's that doctrine of Esau, the doctrine of the serpent. See,
yep.
Go ahead.
And with all deceivableness and
see, hey, don't that sound familiar? That sounds like what happened in the garden, man.
That's it. Yep.
He came with all deceivableness, man. He deceived the shit out of Eve.
Yep.
And that's what happened to you people, man. Especially Jake in the entertainment world. You know, they do all these things that really you can't even repeat. You know, these foul, they partake in these different rituals, man. These sacrifices. You know, they bend over to some old wrinkled up so-called Jew, man.
Yep.
Why? Because they were deceived, man.
Okay.
You know? Go ahead.
It says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth.
Whoa. You see that? They go right back to the garden, man. They didn't receive the love of the truth. Yahweh was telling them the truth. And in essence, what we read in the garden is really a narration of what's happening now. Yep. Although it happened, it physically happened, but the scriptures tell you the things written aforetime was written for our learning, man. So what happened in the garden is pretty much the scriptures narrating what's taking place and unfolding right before your eyes now. The serpent has deceived Israel, man. You know? Go ahead, you got something?
Yeah, finish this out real quick. It says, Salakia. It says, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And I got a quick precept. This is Psalms chapter 50 and verse 19. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frame of deceit.
Right, and that goes all the way back to the serpent, man. And you see the common theme. Like with the serpent, he lied. You go to Cain, he lied. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Common thread with Esau, man. You know, they deal with deception and lies, man. You know?
Yep.
And it's all done in effort to make you deviate from your power, you know? So that's why when you read what we just read before you got there, where the scripture said all those who Matter of fact, read that one more time. We just read in 2 Thessalonians, the last verse again.
Yeah, this is Second Thessalonians 2:10. It says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth,
right?
that they might be saved.
That's why he was set up, man, to pretty much filter all the undesirables of Israel, those who was destined to be put to death, those who were predestined to be put to death, amongst Israel, where the Lord set up Satan to catch you, to snare you, man, to entrap you, that serpent,
What is that?
And one thing about the doctrine of the serpent is pretty much is rebellious. You got some up? After you get that, get Acts the 7th chapter. Go ahead.
Yeah, this Job 12:16. But with him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his.
Who was the deceived? Eve. Who was the deceiver? The serpent. That is playing out to this very day. But the point is, how about now sides controlling both sides, man?
Yep.
So I get that Acts 7:51. Then after that, I think that Psalm 50, that Deaf Adder, get that.
Okay, Con. Yep. This is so like it's Acts chapter 7 and verse 51. It says, ye stiff-necked and uncircumcised in heart and ears, ye do always resist the Holy Spirit, as your fathers did.
Right. And that, that sentiment goes all the way back. Even though the scripture says the fathers did in the wilderness, but it goes all the way back to the garden, man.
Yep.
You resisted the Spirit. The Lord told you what to do. You resisted that. And Esau accommodated. He actually accommodated your rebellion.
God. Yep.
And that's happening to this very day. Jake hates the idea of restrictions and being in order. So what Esau do? Esau accommodate that. Okay, yeah. You don't. I see now you want to go against the law. So you know what? You can eat crabs here. You can eat shrimp here.
God.
You have a problem with not keeping the law of committing adultery. So you know what? We're gonna push adultery here.
God.
Matter of fact, we're gonna make being an adulteress celebrated. We're gonna put it in the music. These rappers and R&B singers can't make a hit if it don't entails them popping another man's old lady, man.
God. Yep.
See? So Esau is furnishing you. He's accommodating you, and making it easier for you to go off, man.
Yep.
Fucking devil, man.
God.
That's that serpent, And when you come up against us, you in the spirit of the serpent. You holding fast to his doctrine, man. In a roundabout way, you saying, no, I'm not gonna die.
God.
I'm gonna continue to eat pork. I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna continue to commit adultery. I'm not gonna die. I don't care what you say. See, and that's what the serpent told Eve. Surely you should not die. See?
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Yep. Go ahead,
You want some more on that X? You want some more on that X?
Read it. Read that again. Acts 7:51.
All right, Con. Yeah, this Acts chapter 7:51. Ye stiff-necked and uncircumcised in heart and ears, ye do always resist the Holy Spirit. As your fathers did, so do ye.
Yep, see that? So this is a legacy. So that wasn't just something that happened in the garden and that was it. No, that was a continuing thing,
Yep.
Even to this very day. You resist the Spirit, and it's because you lean towards the doctrine of the serpent. And the doctrine of the serpent is that rebellious spirit of, you know what? No matter what the Most High say, I ain't gonna die. So go back to go to the Psalms.
Yeah, Con. This is Psalms chapter 58 and verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
Speaking lies, man. Going all the way back. Really, when they was born, when you go back, because the scriptures tell you how he's filled with the bones of his youth. His sin is filled with the bones of his youth, or something like that. Well, that's going all the way back to the serpent, man. That's when he was birthed into the scene.
God.
And he was speaking lies ever since then, man.
Yep.
See that? Read it again,
It says the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
See that? And that happened in the garden, man.
Mm-hmm.
Which that legacy continues to this very day. All right. And how is the serpent lying to you? By telling you, you well off by becoming acclimated in America. Put your trust in Egypt, in the shadow of Egypt. Center your life around with the so-called white man. Hey, our people, they put more stock into what Esau tell their ass. Esau tell them to go to school, get a diploma, a degree. Hey, and they hold fast to that shit.
Yep.
How about Shmuel Shah tell you not to eat pork, not to commit adultery, come back until you return to your power, and you have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Yep.
Go ahead.
It says their poison is like the poison of a serpent. Mm.
Mm-hmm. Woo! Whoa. Hey, Ak, if you will, real quick, go back to Genesis and go to where it say it was pleasing to our eyes.
Oh, God. Ooh.
See, and that's what Esau show you. Esau
Yep.
show you, yeah, man, you can get a new Benz. You can have all this money. You can have you a mansion. You can have a loft overlooking the city. You can have you a villa in Costa Rica. But Jake is real impressionable, man.
Yep.
That's why the Lord compared him to a woman.
Yep.
Because you can persuade a woman. Just run some game on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the serpent did. Go ahead.
Yeah, this Genesis 3:6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes,
mm-hmm.
and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat.
And that's happening to this very day. So Esau play on your desires, he'll put it out there for you. It's something as subtle as a damn commercial, a commercial promoting a 2020 Escalade. And Jake go out there and rob a nigga, man.
Yep.
Why? Because they impressionable. Esau is enticing them. You see, Esau is seducing them, man. You see how heavy it is being in this fucking place, man? This is the worst case scenario, man. This place was set up to snare you and entrap you, man.
That's it. I got a quick precept.
Yep, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Back in Proverbs 7:21, with her much fair speech, she calls him to yield.
Right, whoa. And that actually translates back to the serpent.
That's it.
The serpent got her with his fair speech, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in the form of these commercials, in the form of, hey, Esau polish up one of these rap niggas and put him out there, throw him in some skinny leg jeans, and he'll say some shit. Now all of a sudden, you taking. Oh shit, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's that shrewd serpent.
That's it.
Yep, go ahead, Up.
It says, with her much fair speech, she calls him to yield. With the flattering of her lips, she forced him.
Which again, we must reiterate, back in the garden, man.
That's it.
That fair speech forced Eve, which again, Eve is symbolic to Israel, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
it's a little bit more on there too.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it says, verse 22, he goeth out to her straightway as an ox goeth to the slaughter.
Yeah, and that's our people. Our people, they don't even look before they leap. Whatever Esau tell them, they just dive in head first, man.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Or as a fool to the correction of the stocks.
Read, continue on.
Okay, Yep, it says, till a dart strike through his liver.
Yeah, and that's dealing with the missiles, man.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of you Jakes, you're going to just continue until the missiles come. There's no rehabilitating you, no matter how much. Oh, that's why the Heavenly Father said, we said you are only revolt more and more.
More, yep.
That's it. Why should you be stricken? You're only going to revolt more and more.
Yep.
So that's the mentality of Jake. Jake is hard-headed. Jake don't get it until the punishment comes. That's why the scripture saying till a dart struck through his liver. That's a metaphor for the missiles coming, man. Oh, and it tells you that too. Also, I forget exactly where it's at. Where it said, how long should Israel be in this state? And it say until the overthrowing of the city or something like that.
I know what you're talking about.
That's in the book of Isaiah, I believe. You know exactly where it's at?
I think I know. Let me see.
I want to say I want to say Isaiah the first chapter.
It might be. Let me see.
I'm not sure.
I think it is.
It's speaking about the condition of Israel, and they
Yep.
say, well, how long should they be in this condition? They said until the cities be wasted. Yeah. I don't know.
Let's see. It sounds like that's in the first chapter. I'm trying to see.
You could probably type it real quick. Put cities until the cities be wasted. KJV. Okay. It should come up until the cities be wasted. Just give it a simple Google. Yeah, because that's why, again, and once you find it, we're going to go back.
6. Okay.
Yeah, Isaiah 6. Yep,
mm-hmm. Okay, this Isaiah 6, and I'm gonna start up at 9. It says,
mm-hmm.
And he said, "Go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not.
Mm-hmm.
Make their heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert and be healed." Mm-hmm. Then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, until the cities be wasted without inhabitation.
Right, until the missiles come.
That's it.
So Jake is going to be in this condition until the missiles come. So read that again in Proverbs.
Back in Proverbs chapter 7 and 23, it says, till a dog strike through his liver, as a bird hasteth to the snare, and know not that it is for his life.
Right. So Jake gonna be in this condition until those missiles come, man. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
There's no rehabilitating Jake. All right.
Okay.
So now go back to Psalms 58.
Yeah, back in Psalms chapter 58 and verse 4 again, it says their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear.
Right, the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. And everybody out there that's subscribed to Esau and his philosophies, you come in that same spirit. You like the deaf adder that stoppeth your ear, man. When we tell you you're gonna die, your rebuttal is the same thing the serpent said. You should surely not die, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's a form of somebody stopping their ear. Like, I don't want to hear it, man.
Yep.
See? Go ahead, Al.
Got a quick precept about.
Mm-hmm.
This is Proverbs 13 and 13. Whoso despises the word shall be destroyed.
Shall die. Shall be put to death. He shall surely die. Yep, go ahead.
But he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded.
Yep. So go back to you got somebody go back to Psalm 58?
Back in Psalm 58 in verse 5, it said, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers.
Charmers. Which a charmer is if you ever saw those cartoons, where you have the charmer and you had a serpent in the basket, And if you play the flute, then it actually charms the serpent. Which that episode, what's that episode you was telling me about?
You talking about the Peruvian flute band?
Yeah, the Peruvian flute band. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, because once they stopped playing the music, all hell broke loose, man.
Yep, exactly.
That's heavy right there. So once the Lord pull us off the streets, in His word, the Lord pretty much stopped His word from coming out, then all hell's gonna break loose. Why? Because we're gonna no longer be charming that serpent. Although he don't want to be, he can't be charmed anyway.
Yep. That's it.
Go ahead,
It says, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely.
Yep. That's that serpent, man.
Yep.
So the scriptures is showing you, that same serpent, that dynamic is being played out to this very day, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got more on that?
I got a precept about.
Yeah,
the Wisdom of Solomon 2 is from the brother Yawasop. He had something to take this bad one right here. This is Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 24. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it.
Ooh, yep. If
Yeah,
you hold fast to his doctrine, man,
that's it.
you guaranteed to find death, man. You know.
Exactly. Yep.
Matter of fact, when you read Wisdom of Solomon, matter of fact, give me that Wisdom of Solomon. Is that Wisdom of Solomon? No, it's Ecclesiasticus 12 and around the 12th verse.
Let's see. Ecclesiastes 12 and 12. Yep, kind. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and 12. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent?
Whoa, see that? So who gonna pity you, you Israelites, man? When
Yep.
all hell break loose, man. When this devil show his horns, in the
Yep.
form of martial law.
Mm-hmm.
Because this devil already got laws on the books, certain legislations passed, but pretty much he had waged war against Jake. So once he come after you, who's gonna pity you, man? Because you was playing around with the serpent. That's why again, I read it again from the top, the 12th verse again.
Con, it says, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
Mm-hmm.
Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith.
Oh. When you get pricked, that's when that serpent hit your ass. With them
Yep.
teeth, he prick you. Yeah, go ahead.
Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent?
See that? Go ahead.
Or any such as come now wild beasts.
Yeah, see that? So you came across, you came unto this devil, man. You put your trust in this devil, man. So when he turn around and bite you, or it's an old folk tale about the woman. You know what I'm talking about? The woman and the serpent, man.
Yep.
I wish we had that. We could have pulled that up and read that, man.
I can pull it up real quick. Let's see.
Yes, if you pull it up real quick, and we just for edification's sake.
Yeah,
because the Lord is beautiful. That's why you read the book of Isaiah, the 9th chapter. It tells you how the Lord is a wonderful counselor, man. And the Lord gives you a wide range of examples to drive home teaching moments. That's why when you read the scriptures, the Lord will often, Yahweh will often, our Lord will often use tangible things to drive home spiritual points, man. He'll say, consider the lilies of the field, consider the fig tree. Well, that's the sign of a great teacher. Someone that gives you tangible things, something that you can put your hand on. He simplified everything for you, man, so that you can get the full understanding of it. See? So through the spirit of power, how about Shemel Shah, we're attempting to do that with this. You got it up?
Yeah, Khan. This pretty much lesson of the snake. They pretty much give a summary. It says it's pretty much a song, and it said go back from over 2,500 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the spirit.
Yep, that's
that
it.
goes back to around the time of Yahweh Shah, man.
That's it. It says
2,500 years ago.
Yep. It says the song tells the story of a tender-hearted woman.
It tells the story of a tender-hearted woman, man.
Yep.
We just read in Jeremiah, what we read earlier in Jeremiah the 6th chapter, how the Lord compared Israel to a delicate and comely woman, man.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Yep.
Go ahead.
It says the song tells the story of a tender-hearted woman who rescues a poor, half-frozen snake from near death in the winter.
Hold up. Did that not happen when that devil Christopher Columbus came over here? The Native Americans nursed them back to health, man. Wish they should have said, man, to hell with that devil. But through the spirit, I believe through the spirit, and I'm pretty sure other brothers can attest to this. They probably thought that was Quetzalcoatl coming back. They thought that was Yahweh Shah return.
Yep.
They saw big ships.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, God. It says let's see, who rescues a poor half-frozen snake from near death in the winter cold. Take me in, O tender woman. The snake cries out, take me in for your sake. It says,
who shall pity a charmer that's bitten by a serpent, man? See, a woman is impressionable. See?
Yep.
This goes back to Eve, man. This what we're reading right here go back to the serpent and Eve.
God.
Which applies to this very day. All these guys out there that's in the black consciousness community, you Eve personified. You guys that's into Islam, the Moors, you Eve personified. Why? Because you was taken by this serpent, man, and his doctrine. See?
Yep. It says, so the tender-hearted woman takes the snake into her own home, warms it by the fire, and feeds it milk and honey. Come on.
Ooh, come on, man. That sounds like a parable from Yahweh Shah right
there. Yeah, I mean, come on.
Come on, man. Yes, go ahead.
If I hadn't brought you in, by now you might have died. But instead of saying thanks, the snake.
Whoa. That's another point. If it weren't for Jake, these devils would have been fell off. Jake's the one who support. Man, Jake spent all the money, man. Jake has kept America alive, man. These holidays, Jake showed more reverence to these holidays. These Edomites don't even get down by these holidays, man. These Edomites buy a goddamn pair of Skechers, man, and a mountain bike. Jake buy a $500 pair of jeans, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
J's for the 4th of July, man.
Jay, all this shit, I mean.
Come on, man. So that's what the woman's saying. I kept you alive.
Man, that's bad, yup.
That's bad right there.
I can make a point. And nobody mad. I mean, they Newports. We ain't buying no more Newports. We ain't buying Colt 45s no more.
Yeah. Yeah, Jake kept you alive, man.
Yep.
Right.
It says, if I hadn't brought you in, by now you might have died. But instead of saying thanks, the snake gave her a vicious bite.
Woo! At least you be pricked, man.
That's it.
Yeah, go ahead.
It says, I saved you, cried the woman, and you bitten me. But why?
Woo! Who shall pity you, man?
Yep, that's it. It says, you know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Come on, man.
Come on, man. We just read that a song, the 58th chapter, you know?
This is bad part right here.
We might have to put that link. Can some kind of way I can put that link in the description box?
Yeah, matter of fact, I can send it. Let me see.
Yeah, we'll set it up, you know.
Yeah, I can just copy the link.
Maybe brothers might want to go more into that, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish this off and I send it up there. This bad right here. It says, you know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Oh, shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
That's bad right there. That's bad. Because the Lord didn't shy away. Oh, that's heavy because the Lord showed you in the form of these documentaries, these period pieces, going to history. It's well documented what these devils did to you, man.
Yep.
You know, Roots, 12 years a slave. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Django. Goodbye, Uncle Tom. And if that's not enough, going to you could just Google it. It's all around you. You knew that this man was a serpent, man. Yet you embraced him, man. You know?
That's it.
At the expense of your Yahweh Shema Shah. Because again, the main motivation, the driving force behind you rejecting his word is due to the fact that you hold fast to Esau. Oh, that's why Yahweh Shah said, either you'll love the one and hate the other.
That's it.
You'll hold fast to the one and you'll embrace, the other, man.
That's it.
There's no in between. Yep. You got something else up?
No, that's it. That was it on that story.
Oh yeah, you got some more precepts?
Was
we finishing that song today?
I think it was a little bit more on that. Let me see.
Okay, come.
Yep, I
But
think.
yeah, man, that's a beautiful story, man. That story right there is edification. You know, if you
Mm-hmm.
viewing things through spiritual lenses, man.
Yep.
Okay, and it proves that Yahweh Shema Shai and his teaching, you know, again, going back to Isaiah the 9th chapter, he's a wonderful counselor, right?
Con.
So this is all about edifying.
Yep.
Okay, so the spirit had that to come out right there because that drive home the point of the serpent and Eve, that dynamic that happened in the garden, and proves that that legacy continues to this very day. What you're witnessing right now with the rebellion of Israel is nothing more than them holding fast to the doctrine of the serpent. That's it, man.
That's it.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead, up.
Con. Yeah, this is Psalm 58. I'm gonna jump in before again. It said their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth for ear, which will now hearken to the voice of charmers, charmer never so wisely.
Mm-hmm. They
It,
heroes, man.
mm-hmm.
And they tell you that in Lazarus and the rich man.
That's it. Moses and
Now, we
prophet.
have Moses and the prophets.
That's it.
Yep, go ahead, up.
It says, break their teeth, O Most High, in their mouth. Break out
Uh-huh.
the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord.
Uh-huh. Yep. And that's where we at. You know, eventually the Lord gonna break the teeth because you can run across a fierce pit bull. You can run across a lion.
Yep.
Guess what? If that lion ain't got no teeth, man, you know, he's rendered useless.
Yep.
And that's what's going to happen with Esau. His teeth is dealing with his military. And the reason why it's in his mouth, because he enforces military through his law. Okay? That's why this man is signing legislations to wage war. Right? You got something else
Exactly.
up?
Now that's it on that. I mean, they're going to the missiles and that, but I mean,
Yeah, kind. And so with that, we wanted this lesson to be precise and to the point as possible. The Lord willing, it was edifying. Hope you brothers and sisters out there was edified. And with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Yep, double honors to the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, much due honors and respect to the sincere brethren out that is also laboring in his work, as well as you believe with the Akim and the Aqua, which will be the brothers and the sisters that subscribe to this truth as well. With that, shalom.
Shalom. DTA or Ball.
Ball.
Delta, you monsters and you serpents, man.
Yeah, you serpents. Off with the head of the serpent.